How can the world's fourth largest economy have tent cities under palm trees, power bills that rival luxury rent, and an endless parade of moving trucks heading east? California, the golden dream, has become the place people fight hardest to escape. This isn't bad luck. It's a system built to break itself. After World War II, California was America's futuristic promise. Federal money poured in, shipyards glowed at midnight, aerospace jobs lifted families into the middle class. The climate was kind, homes cheap, and universities nearly free. From Dust Bowl migrants to Ivy League graduates, everyone came chasing sun, freedom, and the sense that the West meant second chances. For decades, it worked. California became the symbol of what America wanted to be: diverse, rich, inventive, fearless. But when too many people chase the same paradise, paradise runs out of room. The same ideals that built the state, growth, independence, local control, eventually hardened into barriers. By the 2020s, those freedoms turned inward, where once they produced innovation, now they produced gridlock. Beneath the palm tree glow lies a web of broken policy, sky-high rent, and endless delay. The rot began with the one thing that defines every dream: the ability to find a place to live. Everything in California begins and ends with housing. When even good jobs can't keep you under a roof, the dream collapses into survival. Today, the median home price sits above $900,000. Mortgages and rent have nearly doubled in just a few years. Economists estimate the state is short by 3.8 million homes, a deficit so vast that fixing it would take decades, even if construction doubled overnight. Los Angeles and the Bay Area show the scale of imbalance. For every unit built, 3 jobs appear. In Silicon Valley, it's worse, more than 3 per new home. The richer California grows, the harder it is for its workers to live anywhere near that wealth. Tech giants spark booms that end with commuters sleeping in cars. Teachers, nurses, city workers, all caught in a cruel commute economy, spending hours on the highway to reach jobs in neighborhoods they'll never afford. If California were a country, it would rank near Germany or India in total output, yet it leads America in cost of living poverty. Even 6-figure earners hover one hospital bill from homelessness. The problem isn't lack of money, it's a shortage of permission, because somewhere along the way, Californians decided growth had limits. They inherited a myth that protecting neighborhood character mattered more than building homes for people who didn't already live there. That quiet mindset hardened into an ideology, and soon a single word would come to define it: NIMBY. Not in my backyard turned civic engagement into a statewide blockade. It starts small, a development proposal drops, meetings fill with objections, traffic, parking, noise, skylines, officials retreat and projects stall. Multiply that meeting by 1,000 and you have modern California. In Atherton, one of Silicon Valley's wealthiest towns, a modest 16-unit apartment plan met outrage from homeowners and even NBA star Steph Curry, who warned it threatened privacy and safety. Translation: don't build near us. The project died. Other towns pulled stranger tricks, declaring land as mountain lion sanctuaries to avoid zoning mandates. Venice Beach sued Los Angeles to stop a homeless shelter. San Francisco residents fought a 200-bed shelter on the Embarcadero waterfront. Each battle looked local. Together, they formed an invisible empire of resistance. The numbers reveal its reach. Roughly 96% of California's residential land allows only single-family homes. Duplexes? Illegal. Fourplexes? Illegal. Apartments near train stops? Forget it. Rules meant for suburban comfort have locked entire cities in amber. NIMBYism hides behind environmentalism, safety, and heritage, but its outcome is always the same: less housing, higher prices, deeper inequality. Wealthy homeowners win, everyone else pays. Soon, activists discovered even stronger weapons buried in state law, regulations that slowed the entire machine to a crawl. Every empire builds walls. California built red tape. The 1970 California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, began with noble intent, protecting air, water, and ecosystems from reckless growth. 50 years later, it's the primary tool to stop almost everything Any person or group can file a CEQA lawsuit claiming a project might harm the environment. They don't need proof. Each appeal freezes progress for years, adding roughly 2.5 years on average to construction timelines. Legal costs pile so high that most developers walk away. Only 13% of suits come from real environmental groups. The rest come from rivals, trade unions, or homeowners protecting their views. Then came Proposition 13, the 1978 property tax cap that changed how cities survive. It shielded retirees from rising taxes, but gutted municipal revenue from housing. Now local governments make more money from big retail and hotels than from new homes. A shopping plaza funds city budgets. An apartment complex drags them down. No wonder councils keep saying no. CEQA delays plus Prop 13 incentives equal a state where hesitation outweighs ambition. What was meant to preserve California's beauty now limits its ability to grow, reshaping not just its skyline but its supply chains, its roads and even its electricity. No state pays more to keep its lights on. Californians spend around 32 cents per kilowatt hour, twice the national average, and still face rolling blackouts. The grid is ancient. More than 70% of lines and transformers predate the internet. They were built for centralized power plants, not a sea of rooftop panels and electric cars. To reach its 2045 goal of 100% clean energy, California needs massive rewiring. But there's no time, and of course, every project must survive CEQA. At the center stands PG&E, a for-profit monopoly serving 16 million people. Decades of neglected maintenance produced wildfires so costly the company went bankrupt in 2019. It re-emerged and promptly raised rates again. Each safety upgrade, every new pole or line, paid directly by consumers. The result is a cruel paradox. The state driving America's green revolution can't provide stable power to the homes pioneering it. Solar projects stall in litigation. Battery farms sit unbuilt. During heat waves, the world's tech capital goes dark while the rest of the country scrolls through photos of Los Angeles under orange skies. Energy feeds every price: housing, groceries, transport. When electricity becomes a luxury, faith in government starts to short-circuit. And when life gets that expensive, people stop fighting to stay. They leave. Once moving to California was proof you'd made it. Now leaving is. Between 2020 and 2024 alone, more than 800,000 Californians left for Texas, Nevada, Arizona. Places once dismissed as cultural deserts, but now offering what California can't: affordability and space. Some blame taxes. Others cite endless rules, crime headlines, or blackouts. Beneath it all is fatigue. The feeling that California asked for too much and gives back too little. Those who remain are drifting into separate worlds. On one side, homeowners and investors, protected by Prop 13 and surging property values. On the other, younger renters watching half their pay vanish into one-bedroom apartments. Teachers move 2 counties away to afford housing. Nurses sleep in their cars between shifts. The map tells the story. Prosperity hugs the coast. Everyone else is pushed inland. Inland cities like Stockton and Riverside now hold the country's largest share of supercommuters, people driving 90 minutes each way. Longer drives mean more emissions. The state that preaches green policy creates its own pollution. It's not just economic decay, it's cultural erosion. California's once fluid mix of backgrounds is separating by class, age, and geography. The state that symbolized reinvention is hardening into layers of privilege. Politicians keep announcing new reforms, each one branded as the fix. Yet every attempt crashes into the same foundation built decades ago. Sacramento knows the crisis. Fixing it has become a career platform for nearly every governor. But awareness doesn't equal capacity. The 2017 housing package, led by SB 35 under Jerry Brown, was meant to force underperforming cities to build faster. 6 years later, just 14,000 units exist because cities found legal loopholes to delay compliance. Governor Newsom's next acts, SB 9 and SB 10, were hailed as historic zoning reform. SB 9 let homeowners split lots for duplexes. SB 10 streamlined apartments near transit. Local officials fought back immediately, arguing state overreach. Neighborhood groups under environmental and municipal law. Progress slowed to a crawl. In 2023, SB 423 extended fast-track permits to coastal zones for the first time, a move hailed as revolutionary. Opponents called it illegal. Nothing symbolizes California better than new laws passed to override old laws, both paralyzing each other. Still, a few projects prove change is possible. San Francisco's 588 Mission Bay complex added hundreds of affordable units within blocks of downtown jobs. In Los Angeles, the Star Apartments repurposed modular housing into shelter with on-site healthcare for formerly homeless residents. When city and state align, progress follows, but rarely scales. California keeps aiming for grandeur. Billion-dollar climate packages, futuristic rail lines, universal EV goals. It wants to build the future before fixing the present. But a vision without execution just breeds frustration. Sometimes you don't need a revolution, you just need a building permit that doesn't expire mid-process. The same confidence that once made California unbeatable now keeps it from admitting the obvious. Some of its problems aren't exceptional. They're ordinary, and ordinary solutions could work if anyone would try them. California behaves like a country trapped inside a state. Its economy rivals nations. Its culture influences half the world. Yet it struggles to do the basics: house its people, maintain its roads, keep power on. This is Californian exceptionalism, the belief that its problems are so unique that ordinary fixes could never apply. It sounds heroic until you realize it just prevents learning from others. Singapore fixed its housing crisis with density. Vancouver balanced growth through regional zoning. Yet California waves all that off as incompatible with its special case. Ironically, it's that same audacity that once made California a global story. It took arrogance to build Hollywood, to turn orchards into Silicon Valley, to pull fresh water through hundreds of miles of pipeline. But now the state's greatest strength, the refusal to copy anyone, has become its loudest weakness. Maybe California isn't failing because it's broken. Maybe it's failing because it's still trying too hard to be different, an endless experiment that forgot an experiment needs results. What good is being the world's fifth largest economy if teachers can't live where they teach and businesses can't afford electricity? So the real question isn't what happened to California, but what can America learn from it before the same pattern spreads?